Assalamu alaikum students. Today's topic is waves as carriers of energy. As I have told you in my previous lecture that waves not only carries energy but also transmit it. Okay. So in this topic again, that is much similar to the previous one topic. In this topic we will see that how the waves carry energy and how waves transmit it. Okay. Okay, so we will start from here that energy can be transferred from one place to another in the form of waves. In the 9th class physics we have a chapter about energy, and in that chapter we have studied that energy can be transferred from one place to another place in the form of waves. For example, heat and light is coming to us from sun in the form of radiations, which are the waves. Okay, so on the basis of this we can say that the waves transfer energy as heat and light are also the forms of waves. Okay, so now we will take the mechanical waves. Okay, we are not considering the electromagnetic waves in this chapter. Electromagnetic waves will be discussed earlier in the will be discussed later in the next chapters when we study about the light. In this chapter we will mainly focused on the mechanical waves, as we have studied about the two examples. One was the water waves example and other was waves in a string. We have seen that when we were setting up the waves in a string, what we do, we just move our hand up and down, and waves are being set up in the string. Okay, so what happened, why the waves are being set up in the string? The muscular energy, basically the muscular energy of our hand is shifted to the particles of the string which we are holding. Okay, and when that muscular energy is transferred to those particles start moving up and down. Then those particles collide with the adjacent particles जो उनके साथ बिल्कुल connected होते हैं, जुड़े हुए होते हैं, उनके साथ टकराते हैं, collide करते हैं and transfer their energy. And in this way the waves are set up in the whole length of the string, and the energy is transferred from one end to the other end. Okay, so basically the energy which you are providing with your hand, or the muscular energy, is transferring in the form of waves. Okay, in the string, and on that basis we can say that the energy of the wave is depend upon the energy of the source, and here the energy of the source is the muscular energy. In the next slide we will see this thing. Okay, so now we can say that energy depends upon the amplitude of the wave. Basically amplitude of the wave is the term which told you or which tell us about the energy of the waves. Greater the amplitude, greater will be the energy, and smaller the amplitude, smaller will be the energy. Okay, now I have told you in the previous slide that energy, how the wave get energy. Wave is getting energy from the source, from the vibrating body. ठीक है, वो कोई भी किसी भी किस्म की एनर्जी हो सकती है which can be transferred. ठीक, now if we take the string example again, if we will give a very larger jerk to the string, यानी जो up and down movement हम दे रहे हैं अपने हाथ से string को, अगर हम वो ज़्यादा मूवमेंट दें, लाइक हम अपने हाथ को ऊपर की तरफ भी ज़्यादा डिस्टेंस कवर करें और नीचे की तरफ भी ज़्यादा डिस्टेंस कवर करें, तो क्या होगा, एज अ रिजल्ट जो वेव्स सेटअप होंगी इन द स्ट्रिंग, देयर एम्पलीट्यूड विल बी हायर. उनका एम्पलीट्यूड जो होगा वो ग्रेटर होगा, बहुत हायर होगा, यानी ऊंची वेव्स, उर्दू में हम ऐसे कह सकते हैं कि ऊंची वेव्स जो है वो सेटअप होंगी. अब जितनी ज़्यादा एम्पलीट्यूड होगा उन वेव्स का, उतनी ही ज़्यादा उनकी एनर्जी होगी और उतनी ही ज़्यादा नंबर ऑफ वेव्स जनरेट होंगी पर सेकेंड में, जिसको हम फ्रीक्वेंसी कहते हैं. यानी अगर एम्पलीट्यूड ज़्यादा होगा, ये याद रखनी है आपने बात, अगर एम्पलीट्यूड ज़्यादा होगा वेव का तो फ्रीक्वेंसी भी ज़्यादा होगी। फ्रीक्वेंसी ज़्यादा होने का मतलब ये है कि नंबर ऑफ वेव्स जो हैं वो ज़्यादा जनरेट होंगी इन अ सेकेंड, ठीक है। और अगर फ्रीक्वेंसी ज़्यादा होगी तो वेवलेंथ कम होगी। बोथ आर इनवर्सली प्रोपोर्शनल टू ईच अदर, फ्रीक्वेंसी एंड वेवलेंथ हैव अ इनवर्स रिलेशनशिप। सो अगर फ्रीक्वेंसी ज़्यादा होगी तो वेवलेंथ जो है वो डिक्रीज हो जाएगी, वो कम होगी, ठीक। इन द नेक्स्ट स्लाइड आई विल शो अ वीडियो टू अंडरस्टैंड दीज टर्म्स बेटर।
A wave is a disturbance which travels from one place to another, carrying energy but without carrying material along with it. Many waves have a characteristic speed. The size and shape of the disturbance does not affect how fast it travels. This allows us to talk about the speed of sound, or the speed of light. The amplitude of a wave is how far from equilibrium it extends. Harmonic waves, or sine waves, form a regular repeating pattern. The frequency of a harmonic wave corresponds to how many times each second a particular spot goes through its repeating cycle of motion. The corresponding wavelength is the distance over which the pattern repeats. The distance for the repeating pattern in space and the time for each cycle are related to each other through the wave velocity. The time it takes one full wavelength of the wave to pass a given point is the same as the time it takes that one point to go through one full cycle of its motion. Thus, for each harmonic wave, the product of the wavelength and the wave's frequency must be equal to the wave velocity. So a wave with longer wavelength must have a lower frequency. Shorter wavelengths have higher frequencies.
Okay, so now we are taking the example of water waves. से हमने पहले स्ट्रिंग की एग्जांपल ली थी, अब हम अगेन वाटर वेव्स की एग्जांपल ले रहे हैं। हमने पिछले लेसन में भी पढ़ा था कि व्हेन द वाटर वेव्स आर सेट अप on the surface of water by dipping a pencil, if we place a cork in the surface at any place, when the ripples of the water or when the waves reach to the cork gets energy from the waves and start moving up and down. So it means waves carry energy and they transfer their energy to the cork, and hence the cork has started motion in the up and down direction. Okay, so this is all about that how waves carry energy and transfer their energy to other particles जो भी उनके रास्ते में आएगा, उसको कैसे वो अपनी एनर्जी जो है वो ट्रांसफ़र करेंगी। ठीक हो गया। ओके, सो वेयर इज़ योर होम असाइनमेंट। होम असाइनमेंट आपकी ये है कि आपने फ्रीक्वेंसी, वेवलेंथ, क्या हमने पढ़ा, एम्पलीट्यूड, फ्रीक्वेंसी, वेवलेंथ और स्पीड, स्पीड ऑफ द वेव, स्पीड, इन चारों टर्म्स को डिफाइन करना है। ठीक है, कि आपको क्या अंडरस्टैंडिंग आई है। अब मैंने लेक्चर में तो कोई प्रॉपर आपको डेफिनेशन नहीं दी जो आपकी बुक में मेंशन है, बट आई जस्ट वांट टू नो कि आपको क्या समझ आई है इस पूरे लेक्चर से। तो अपने वर्ड्स में आप लिख सकते हैं कि आपको क्या पता चला, व्हाट इज़ फ्रीक्वेंसी, व्हाट इज़ वेवलेंथ और व्हाट इज़ एम्पलीट्यूड ऑफ द वेव। और बहुत अच्छा होगा अगर आप एक डायग्राम बना के उससे शो कर दें, लेबल कर दें कि दिस इज़ एम्पलीट्यूड, दिस इज़ वेवलेंथ एंड दिस इज़ फ्रीक्वेंसी। सो ये आपकी होम असाइनमेंट है जो आपने मुझे करके सबमिट करवानी है।